Laurel is now about 2 months old.
Right.
I think since we had Ashley on the show, we haven't talked about that at all, and there's a lot to talk about. Laurel being 2 months old, opening up in a new neighborhood. This is our first time that we venture outside of Coconut Grove to open a restaurant only. Obviously, we opened up the Gibson in Shenandoah, but there's a heavy bar influence there. There's a great restaurant attached to it, and vice versa. But, we're opening up a very ambitious fine dining restaurant in the middle of downtown, in a part of downtown that is underdeveloped. It is going through the transition and development phase. And I know that statement so well because when I worked for Michael previously at the Cypress Room, Michael's Genuine and the Cypress Room were in a neighborhood that was quote unquote under transition and in a development stage. Obviously that development has already happened. The design district is what it is, and restaurants there are thriving, businesses there are thriving, and they're doing super well. They're obviously catering to a certain type of clientele. So it's a different type of neighborhood, but, it's been an interesting 2 months. I think the kitchen team there has absolutely fucking crushed it. We have some really young legends there that are doing great work. I think Chef Ashley is doing great work. The food is delicious. The service is great. The space is by far the most beautiful space that we've ever opened. We did Chug's as a shell, quote unquote, the building was there previously from 1926, and we gutted it and we did it from fresh, from like a whole new start. But this is a brand new building, built within the last 3 years. And that definitely was an experience, and we had an opportunity to put things where they should go as opposed to where they just are. And that's been new, and I think it's helped in a lot of ways, understanding from the restaurateur side what it takes to build from a shell. And I think how much credit people deserve for making something work when it shouldn't actually be there it says a lot too. So, Laurel has been great, and I can't talk enough about the staff that's there and the kitchen team that's there. Obviously, we had some great pillars from Ariete that moved from Ariete to go to open Laurel. Chef Ashley being one of them, Alessandro being another, and Chef Brian being another one. Those three cats have really done really amazing work to install great culture and understanding of what it takes to run a great kitchen. And I think now it's just understanding the business, right? And very similar to when we opened at Ariete 7 years ago, it's building a community around the restaurant and finding ways to do that, whether it's through happy hour, whether it's through you live in the building, we're going to show you some love, or the fact that, Laurel has Chug's Express window that operates from 8 to 3 every day. And, we serve coffee and croquetas and pastelitos. That's a community building experience, something so people know why is there this random window here? There's this random window here because it's attached to this fine dining restaurant, so you can have breakfast with us in the morning, but you could also come for happy hour and have great $10 cocktails, or you can come at nighttime for whether it's a Tuesday or you're celebrating an anniversary, and have a beautiful meal. So, something I've tried to relay to my team has been the community building process. And, a lot of the team that's here now wasn't there 7 years ago, or they weren't even there 5 years ago, to understand how much work and how much service and understanding and just getting to know people, that community building is not super common. So instilling that into a new property has been, I wouldn't say a challenge, but it's definitely a new thing that a lot of these people haven't really experienced. Because when they joined the team, Ariete was already part of the community. So was Chug's, really. So, Laurel is this whole new, it's this new thing in a new place that's okay, so how do we become what this thing is there? How do we take the things that we learn there and instill them somewhere else?
Right. I would also note, in terms of people who moved from Ariete to Laurel, Ashley is a natural TV interviewee.
Oh man,
She did a pretty solid job.
I love the you know, I think part of the journey of being like a chef, restaurateur, whatever, is making sure that your people that deserve the credit get the credit that they deserve.
Yep.
Willingly or unwillingly.
Right. I would have guessed if you had asked me that was a little unwilling.
So, like, you know, we've done a couple of TV stints, and my request was that Ashley does all of them because she's very young, she's very talented, she's super well-spoken, and she's very passionate about what she does. Obviously, if you've listened to the podcast with her, you get it. Maybe tail end of the podcast, too many drinks in.
What a boy.
Yeah, things get a little more passionate than they should be, but, you know, I mean, it's her show, and it's really for me to support her in the process and to guide her in leading a team and, you know, building a great menu and a great kitchen. But, you know, this whole thing, the same thing with Manny, has been, you know, I want to give them the tools to be successful. And part of those tools is understanding how to speak in front of people.
Right.
And I don't think we put enough time and effort into that. But, you know, people they have to know why they should dine there.
Right.
And she's so good at it, reluctantly. And I think she crushed all of her TV interviews and all the things that she did. She absolutely crushed it.
Yeah.